This QB player props edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by MyBookie.ag. Use that promo code SGP for up to $1,000 in bonus bets. That's MyBookie.ag, promo code SGP to play, win, and get paid. We're also teaming up with All Things Comedy to run back the 2019 NFL playoffs via Madden Sims and giving away $10,000 in MyBookie credits. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/ATC for all the info. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/ATC. We're also brought to you by Ace Per Head. Ace is the leader in pay per head providers, and they make it super easy to start your own sportsbook. Plus, Ace is offering up to 6 weeks free over at aceperhead.com/SGP. That's aceperhead.com/SGP. Finally, we're brought to you by Cushy Dreams. Cushy Dreams is a new company with a full line of premium smokable CBD, now shipping legally to all 50 states. And if you use the promo code SGP, you get 15% off. That's KUSHYDreams.com, promo code SGP. Ooh, welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking that money green with my partner picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Sean, cue the festive music. Finally, the professional football team in the great capital of this country, the United States of America, it's getting a new name. This is like when the eye ties, they wait a little bit, right? And then they name the kid at the baptism or whatever.
Oh
the,
yeah,
the
that's
classical
great.
move. The Redskins, after they've gone through their infancy period, they've accidentally won some championships, and now it's not often we openly discuss, we broach a political topic like this, Sean.
Wow.
But did you see the guy who
going all in on Trump?
Did you see the guy who trademarked all the names? He trademarked like every possible name: Washington Generals, Red Tat, like all of these different names. Some real estate. I thought that was pretty funny. Do you have
that's next level?
Do you have an opinion? Well, this is when you know things are bad from an ownership perspective. When your fans are like outwardly trolling you, like just overtly saying "fuck you." Don't even care what the name is. I just want to mess with you. You know?
Dan Snyder, not a popular guy, but it looks we should have an announcement coming up soon as to what the actual team name is for the Washington football team. And again, I don't know how you feel, Kramer, but I will not acknowledge the new name.
Ooh,
and I'm just going.
I actually don't know what
once the new name happens, I think it'll be fun to then start referring to them as the Washington football team, because we were one of the few media outlets willing to actually call the team by their team name. And now I think it would be fun to decide. Everyone else is zigging. Everyone else is going to embrace, love the new name. I think
it's important.
I mean, eventually, whatever name they go with.
Let's talk about
generals,
this.
pro-military, red tails. That could be. What about blue tails? That could be seen as problematic down the line. And also, those guys were in the military. What are you pro using taxpayer money to kill people? I'm not. So I think whatever name they come up with, we can find a reason to protest the name. So
well, and I've seen odds for this, Sean.
Yes, and we have a great article over at sportsgamblingpodcast.com breaking down the odds for the new Redskins name.
Do you want to throw your hat in the ring?
Well, I think Red Tails is the way they're going to go, but
that's plus. Yes. That's the favorite.
I'm going chalk.
It's actually Red Tails or Clouds. They could be the Red Clouds.
The Red Clouds. That is the dumbest fucking name I've ever heard.
That's the favorite right now, 2-1 at an unnamed place out in the desert.
What about Redman? The Redman?
And
that's
just
probably
roll
a lateral.
Redman out of. That's probably not good.
Redman chewing tobacco. Again, that's probably
not great
as well.
I mean, the Hogs, I feel like if you're looking to take a stab, set plus 725. The Monuments, that just seems like a trash name. The Americans, no, you can't claim that.
No,
you can't become the Americans. That's annoying.
Red Wolves sounds kind of badass, although unclear what a Red Wolf is.
And if you want to take a true long shot, the Washington Lincolns, that would just be confusing. Like who's proposing that name?
It would be sweet to have Abraham Lincoln as a mascot on your sideline, just a dude in a jacked up Abe Lincoln costume.
Again, I think Sean nailed it. For this day forward, we will now refer to this team as the Washington Professional Football Team.
Yes. We'll have to wait and find why we're going to be offended, but trust us, we will find a reason to be offended. Kramer,
what are we doing today, Sean?
We're going to be breaking down the 2020 NFL player props quarterback edition. We did a top 10 earlier, I think, where we did like $1 million, but now I think it'd be fun since there are so many props available over at mybookie.ag. When you use the promo code SGP, there's just so many of these fun NFL player props. Why not? It's the off season. Let's dive in.
No, Sean, it's too early.
No. Well, we're only 2 weeks away from training camp, and not to go down that whole rabbit hole. Like, what if it doesn't start? Okay, I'm believing in football. All right, and yes, there's a lot of things happening. A lot of ne'er do wells, a lot of negativity in the media. I'm Mr. Positivity. All right, I'm finding.
Me too, Sean.
I'm finding the bright spot, and the bright spot is right now. You can gamble on football over at mybookie.ag. Head over there. All these numbers we're pulling are from the MyBookie, the mybookie.ag warehouse of player props, and of course, we're doing the Sims Tuesday nights. Well, you're probably listening to this later, so. But we're doing the All Things Comedy Tournament, aka the football tournament, giving away $10,000 in MyBookie credits. Check the leaderboard, see where you're at, get the schedule, and
well, if you're listening to this and you missed Tuesdays, which you probably did, you're definitely going to want to tune in the 24th and 25th because that is a combination of the divisional round and championship Saturday,
yes,
where
July
we will be
25th.
Streaming for 6 straight hours.
It's kind of insane, but we're gonna have the AFC Championship game, NFC Championship game, and the Super Bowl all in one place. And I talked to management. We are going to be doing Super Bowl squares. And again, you can only bet on those over at mybookie.ag, the sports sim gods. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/ATC for all the tournament info, etc. Get over there and make it happen. All right, Kramer, let's do it. We're giving ourselves $1 million fake dollars,
$1 million props.
And yeah, it's just fun. Throw out some of these early leans. What are we feeling? I was listening to someone, they were mentioning like over under on passing yards, and I realized they had a bunch of opinions on some of these quarterbacks. Most of mine are on the rushing yards, although I have a couple interceptions, couple touchdown, one player to win comeback player of the year.
I kind of went off the reservation, if that's okay.
It's all right, Ryan.
I went and I
and of course that was not aimed at the Washington professional football team.
No. Are we not allowed to say that anymore?
Oh, off the reservation? You're out of your mind if you think you can say that.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you, working in technology, the first thing that people started doing, databases can't have masters and slaves. Firewalls can't have white and black lists, and it's like, anyway, it makes sense, but it's also like, wow, this is going to places I didn't expect. Sean,
yes,
I went off the reservation, not the reservation where you go to gamble, the reservation of. I'm thinking Sean just went right down the middle of the road. I'm going to take some yardage props, maybe a couple comeback player of the year. You know, the nerdy square stuff that you expect out of Sean stacking the data green over there. But I went crazy. I went gut. I went big time. Sean, should we start?
Yeah.
Can we start from the backwards?
Sure. You want to go small bets to big bets?
No order. My bets are all over the place today.
Well, if there's no order, how can we start in the back?
Because I'm starting from the furthest out, and that is the first pick.
Okay.
In the 2021 NFL draft is, I know you said quarterback props, so I'm a little bit of a loophole here. Trevor Lawrence -325 right now. And I'll say this guy, he might not play football. I know we don't like to talk about this out loud, and we're being positive, and we're hoping for sunny skies, blue skies, whatever they call it in the entertainment industry this fall for college football. But he might not play.
Yeah, I mean, if they
don't play college football, he's already the surefire consensus #1 pick. I guess you could argue, well, if the team doesn't need a quarterback, they could take the tackle from Oregon or whoever pops up. Whatever.
Someone will trade up for Trevor Lawrence.
This dude is the number one pick since he was a freshman. -325. This feels like getting no safety in the Super Bowl at -325 instead of -800. I was shocked to see Justin Fields is +300 and change.
Yeah, I mean, it's normally it would be insane to lay -300 on the first pick overall 1 year out. However,
you could have done this last year, you know?
But everything that's happened so far, I think it makes complete sense. And you're right. If they move the schedule to spring, some of the big name players might sit out, or if they start late, or even if it's like a limited season, all those things favor Trevor Lawrence at -300. All right, Kramer.
Hold on. I didn't tell you how much I'm putting on this.
Yeah, sorry.
This is hit the lock button at least once because this is in consideration. But I mean, just from a value perspective, I'm going 325,000.
Wow.
So I might have gone with my big shot first. That's okay. I got some more nuggets.
You're
for you.
laying 325. So yeah, you want to give some value on that return.
I also want to make it worth my dollar, right? If I'm throwing that money in the market, can I make that money over this time? Or, not to say you got to find an establishment that's willing to put up that 325K on credit,
My bookie said they'll definitely
on
allow
credit. All right.
No, they said as long as you use the promo code SGP, they will make sure that happens.
Anyway, I figured, and this is not a play, but if I were to throw out like, hey, look out for this guy, Sean, you're going to like it because a lot like Carson Wentz, North Dakota State has a guy who's a prospect this year, Sean, 10-1 only. That's how you know it's real. Trey Lance. He's a guy to look out for. I don't think he's going to be the number 1 pick overall, but certainly if you're worried about something happening with Trevor Lawrence, who will be the next guy? I don't believe it's going to be Justin Fields. I think people are crazy to think that.
Yeah.
And a guy like, a measurable guy from a program that's done it before, granted number 2 pick, but Carson Wentz is pretty dang good for a Division II quarterback. 1 AA.
Kramer, I'll kick mine off. I'm going to throw $100,000.
Oh, wow. Okay. Just told you right down the middle of the road.
$100,000 on Daniel Jones over 3,799 and a half passing yards. This to me, this is a slam dunk. We see this all the time with these fantasy quarterbacks. I'm not a believer in the new look New York Giants defense. I think there's a chance they're going to be playing from behind. I think there's a chance maybe Daniel Jones fumbles the ball, turns the ball over, that they have a lot of possessions. And you bring in Freddie Kitchens, Jason Garrett. They like to give the quarterback a bunch of easy throws, check down.
Saquon.
Yeah. Even
what was the
Saquon
juice on this when you got it, Sean?
I think he was either -110, maybe -120. So
okay,
it's right there. And he had 3,000 yards as a rookie. And that was only in 12 games.
And
so
did you get the same number as me?
What do you mean?
What was the number you threw out? I didn't.
3,799 and a half.
Yeah.
So 3,800 yards is really well within Daniel Jones' wheelhouse, and you don't have to worry about Eli Manning coming in for a couple games, stealing his job, being named the starter. It's Daniel Jones, ride or die. Ideally, he's maybe, even if he's as shitty as he was last year, getting to 3,800 passing yards in the NFL is not that tall of an ask.
So again, I'm on this, so I might as well slot it in number 2. So maybe I am going reverse order. I've already spent $435,000, 110,000 on this one. I saw it at -110, and for all the reasons you highlighted, this is crazy. This is a defense that I think, as a homer, I'm hoping for them to be like average.
Average would be best case scenario.
Average is the ceiling, I think, in my mind. Like good against the run, inconsistent against the pass. And definitely giving Daniel Jones lots of opportunity where he's needing to put the team on his back and throw the ball. The argument against Daniel Jones here is Saquon is going to get some carries and some rushing yards. Don't really care about that. The other argument is just flat out injury. People will point to the fact that he's popped his collarbone before. He tends to hold on to the ball. So sure, if you want to play that game, you're going to be playing more unders than overs, which is probably smart. But in this case, like Sean's pointing out, there's many versions of the story. If they have a good year, he goes over 3,800 yards. If they have a bad year, he goes over 38 and 100 yards. If he misses a couple games, he probably still goes over 3,800 yards. Do the math, right? This is 220 yards a game.
Yeah. I mean, for reference, Murray almost got there last year as a rookie. Baker Mayfield, he got over 3,800 yards.
And so that's the last
Jimmy
point.
G, he almost got 4,000 yards.
Where's the big step typically happen with these quarterbacks? They come in, they get thrown into the fire. They're not successful that first year. Then on to the second year. In this case, massive upgrade. Freddie Kitchen, the quarterback whisperer himself, Jason Garrett, the author of some great offenses down there in Dallas. They are all coming in to all rise, push down the Joe Judge winning culture. Look, I love this prop because if they suck, I can root for it. If they're great, I can root for it. Hell yeah. I'm with you. So that was my second prop. I'm going to throw it right back to you.
Throw it right back to me. I'm going to go, you know what? I'm going to go $175,000 betting units on our man down in Jacksonville, Gardner Minshew, over 34.99.5 passing yards.
Whoa. He
had 32.71 passing yards, and that was only in 12 starts. Like, again, do I think the Jags are going to be great? No, but Leonard Fournette, they've done everything they can do to get him off the team. Like, I think he'll have some carries and whatever, but Minshew has legit connection with DJ Chark. And I think they're just going to be down a bunch, throwing a bunch in garbage time. He had 32.71 in 12 starts, and you're only asking him to get an extra couple hundred yards. 3,500 passing yards is nothing in the NFL this year. I mean, right now, Ryan Fitzpatrick, 3,500 passing yards last year, and he didn't even play the whole season.
And you see what the juice is, right?
What was the juice?
You have 34.99.5, right?
Yeah, I have the over
plus 110.
Plus you're getting plus options on Gardner Minshew.
Unders minus 150, and I like that one. But for the sake of the podcast being interesting, I liked both of these, so I'll pivot to the other one.
Well, real quick, one last point before, and maybe this will get in. I mean, it'll probably help your point as well. But who's the backup quarterback in Jacksonville?
I'm guessing it's Wait, Littering, and who is it?
Mike Glennon.
Yeah,
so are you worried about Mike Glennon stealing his job?
Why did I not know that?
They're just giving it to Gardner Minshew. They're saying, fuck this season, give it to Minshew. And the dude makes some plays.
The Glennon family, all timer in terms of like guys at the top of my red lipstick wall list. Definitely high up on that list.
Well, you know you're bad if you're mentioned in like the Colin Kaepernick blackball lawsuit, where they're like, these guys like Mike Glennon still have a job in the league. Like,
all right. So I'll pivot off the yardage prop and I'll just go to the touchdown prop.
Okay.
Do you still have his stats in front of you?
I can pull him up real quick. Oh yeah, actually I do. Yeah, he had last year. He had 21 touchdowns. Again, that's in 12 games.
So thank you. Over 23.5 plus 125, Sean, plus 125. So how do we not get involved in that? God damn, like, here we go again. I've now spent $535,000. I have $100,000 on this one at plus 125. I can't believe it's plus 125. I've spent more than half my money. Gardner Minshew over 23.5 passing touchdowns. I think for the same reasons you called out the yardage and the same reasons we like Daniel Jones, you can probably attack the touchdown prop there too. Gardner Minshew is going to be down all the time.
Yeah.
And I just, it's going to be.
Well, and honestly,
how does he not have a couple of like 3 or 4 touchdown games early and just sets this on fire?
I wouldn't be surprised at all. And I do think overall player prop strategy for these seasons, especially in this season, I think if you went to my bookie, bet every single under on every single NFL player prop, that's probably not a bad strategy. Just because of injury, but the possibility you take a couple weeks off because of COVID. I mean, for the sake of the podcast, it's fun to have overs and unders mixed in. But if you said, I got 10 grand in my bookie account, I'm going to blindly bet $200 on every single NFL player prop. That's going to be a winning formula. There's no way, just because the state of the NFL, like dudes get hurt. And a lot of these formulas, they're kind of based on a 16 game season.
You know what else is a winning formula? Hedging. Not for everyone though.
Yeah. But again, that's boring.
Some pussies win. Some pussies win.
But it's not how we do things, Sean. Here.
Hashtag Legends only.
Again, if you want to treat this like algebra class, there's some podcasts for you. These are guys who are real football guys. And that's a great real transition to my, are you done on yours, Kramer?
Yeah. Gardner Minshew over 23.5. I think that was it.
And sorry, what was the amount on that?
Oh, so 100,000, just to recap, 100,000. Okay. 100,000. So I've now thrown out 325,000 on the first pick of next year's draft being Trevor Lawrence at minus 325. Daniel Jones over with Sean for 110,000 to win 100,000 and 100,000 on Gardner Minshew to plus 125 over.
This one, what is he's a great football guy we love, a guy who drinks paint when he was growing up. Here's a guy.
We got to get our shit going mentally.
We love ourselves some Bruce Arians. Big Arians fans. The Kegel hat, whatever.
Well, he went to Virginia Tech.
Yeah, the dude's just
Hokie legend.
He's a real football guy. Love that dude. He's got his boy, Tampa Tom. Kramer, this is interesting because I'm still kind of going back and forth on how Brady will do fantasy wise. Like there's a good, like where do you actually slot him? How many yards, passing touchdowns? The one that jumped out at me is the over under on interceptions. It's set at 10.5. Give me the over on Tom Brady interceptions over 10.5. The Bruce Arians offense leads to high number of interceptions. It just does.
It's the vertical passing game, Sean.
And maybe they end up doing a safer version that Tom comes in and brings in his system. But this is the first time he's playing with receivers that he has no chemistry with, no offseason with the exception of Gronk. But really, like, are you going to be surprised if he throws 11 interceptions? No. That's still like a good rate. And he's normally he's pretty low in interceptions. Last year he had 8, but the year before he had 11, and then the year before he had 8. So I think him getting that over 10.5 there is pretty realistic. All things considered, the new offense, the new receivers, the riskier, the no risk it, no biscuit mindset of Bruce Arians. That's going to lead to a couple more interceptions.
Is that really lined up to the TB12 philosophy?
Right. I mean, he's a guy who's scared to eat a strawberry because it might affect his glucose.
Is Bruce Arians open mouth kissing his son? Have you seen that man's work from home setup?
That probably was patient zero for COVID-19 right there. No mask at all. So I
TB12 came back from Wuhan with a new avocado smoothie.
He was probably getting some TB12 bracelets made up in a factory over in Wuhan.
All right, we got to be nice. We got to swing back, Sean. We got to be nice to our baby whale. You're wearing the t-shirt.
I am.
Our baby whale constituents in the great Northeast.
And for those keeping track at home, I had 125K on that one.
Well, my next one, Sean, I'm going big again. 110,000. You wouldn't believe it, but Cam Newton plus a half win versus Tom Brady.
Ooh,
you're telling me I get Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots in the AFC East, which still weaker than not, against the basement dwellers of the NFC South and a team that historically has found ways to lose, with now a team that is filled with hype, much like your Vince Young led dream team.
Well,
and you're I can get Cam Newton plus a half for plus 110.
Now this is what I think.
I'm sorry. I'm betting 100 to win 110,000.
Not a bad strategy, Kramer. I'd be a little nervous about
Tom Brady's old, bro.
Yeah, but I don't know. The team is so much better as a whole, and I forget who was mentioning it, but New England last year was the only year in the past 14 years that they had a defense that was top 10 DVOA. So again, that shits on Colby's point that their defense carries them, and that's Tom Brady's not the best quarterback of all time. But I would say that I could see that Patriots defense regressing and not making them as good of a team as they were last year.
I think and not to dive into this, but I think Belichick's defenses have historically gotten better over the course of the season. If you look at every one of those defenses, they most likely are like crescendoing into the playoffs. Now, I wonder if they're going to be able to do that this year with breaking in a new quarterback. They don't have the offensive stability to kind of hold them up early while they're figuring out what they're going to do. So intriguing, but just from the perspective of why not, you can kind of get involved in Cam Newton at an absolute low spot. I know you're going to say Sham Newton, but this is Tom Brady wins, not Bucks wins. Tom Brady could get hurt.
Yeah, and the Bucks. The more I think about that team, they do have Chargers vibes to me.
Chargers vibes? No, they just have like everyone is hyped on them.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like they're that team that it's easy to fall in love with. They have a great roster, and then they still somehow figure out how to lose. This is a guy we love fading.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Love fading.
Okay.
And he's got his own island. Of course, I'm talking about Jared Goff sucks island.
Oh no.
Under 4,350.5 passing yards. The interest, and I know what you're saying. Oh, it's the Sean McVay offense. Yada yada yada. I think
you just yada 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 them.
I think Sean McVay realized something.
Yeah.
They drafted another running back kind of high. They got rid of Todd Gurley. I think they realized they need to run the ball more. And you look at his splits from 2018 to 2019. He went from 561 passing attempts to 626 passing attempts. And even though he threw the ball, 60 times or 60 more attempts, his passing yards went down from 4688 to 4638. So I think they realized this is a guy that you can't let Goff throw the ball more than 500 times. You got to get back to the 2017 Rams where he only threw it 477 times, 3,800 yards, only 7 interceptions, the 28 touchdowns. Like that's the efficient Jared Goff you need. I think McVay realizes that, and that's why I love the under 4,350.5 passing yards.
I love how you're dipping into these unders. So reserved of you.
Well, come on. I mean, Jared Goff. You expect me to be high on Jared Goff?
You're turning into a wiser man. Going under versus over is way more fun. Are you kidding me, Sean? Let's have some fun.
Sure, let's do it.
And let's take a look. Let me look at the whole market so we can talk about it. But let's take a look at the offensive rookie of the year market.
Ooh,
Joe Burrow, heavy favorite.
Yes.
When is the last time a quarterback who was drafted number 1 won the rookie of the year? Well, you'd say last year, dummy, Kyler Murray.
Yes.
Before that, when did it happen?
Cam Newton
And Sam Bradford.
Wow.
Long time ago. So the first pick being the autoplay for rookie of the year, Joe Burrow here, plus 250. Will history repeat itself with a back-to-back rookie of the year? When I look down this list, is there a person on this list that excites you? Is it Herbert or Tua? Will they get all the snaps?
I think
are any of the running backs in a position to put up a big enough year to do a Saquon Barkley and edge out Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, I mean the odds.
I don't know about that either.
The odds are kind of stacked against you for a non-quarterback to win. But what do you go with, Kramer?
But what I'm saying is I'm saying like I think history is going to repeat itself. Although it's a bit of a long shot because it doesn't seem to often happen. Why not, instead of attacking a Joe Burrow over touchdowns or a Joe Burrow over passing yards? I don't like his interception number at 16.5. I don't think you go over that. That's a tremendous amount of interceptions. While I think he's going to have opportunity to throw them, I think he's going to err on a bit on the more conservative side, but he has the weapons around him. So why not take the plus 250 for him to win rookie of the year? Let's hope that history repeats itself from back when the great Sam Bradford and Cam Newton went back to back as number 1 picks to win rookie of the year at the quarterback position. Joe Smokey Stogie, AKA what
Stogie
else?
Joe.
What other names does he
Smokey Joe, Stogie Joe. Stogie Joe's my favorite, but I think all of them work. Oh, Joe Exotic, Kid Exotic.
I think Joe Exotic's a good one. So let's go plus 250 on that one. And Sean, I'm starting to run short on money, but I do like this one. So I wanted to make sure I got another 100K out on Joe Burrow to be the rookie of the year.
Kramer, my next NFL QB player prop. Give me $150,000 on Lamar Jackson under 919.5 rushing yards. When you have, he had the highest total all time for a quarterback in the history of the NFL of the National Football League. No. He had the most rushing yards by a quarterback all time by like 20%,
but not by a running back.
No. But again, he is a quarterback, and you just don't have back-to-back historic ground-breaking years. You just don't.
No.
I mean, look at Mahomes. He went from 50 touchdowns to 26. Like, there's gonna be some regression. And Lamar Jackson running the ball all the time. And if you're Harbaugh, it's like, I get it. You want him to run the ball because it sets up the rest of your offense, but you also want this kid around for a long time. I mean, look at when Russell Wilson he had one of the highest rushing totals of all time by a quarterback quietly, or I don't recall it, 849. That's like right up there with super high. and then next year 553. You look at Michael Vick, same thing with Randall Cunningham. 1990, I think he had what was it?
The pendulum always swings, Sean.
Randall Cunningham 942 yards in 1990. Next year 91 breaks his leg out for the season. First play of the game.
The pendulum swings. I mean, don't even.
Robert Griffin 815 yards. What happened the next year? Who knows? This guy's been lost at sea.
Let's not use that analogy. He couldn't even run down a line like a linebacker in the Madden Sims the other night. So his knees, but was just completely chopped up. Yeah, I think
even probably the most similar comparison of those dudes is Cam Newton, and he wasn't able ever to like have back-to-back high rushing totals by a quarterback. It doesn't happen in the NFL.
I think you just it's reactionary, and perhaps the caution I would throw into the wind is Harbaugh is not a reactionary guy. This offense is built to do exactly what it did last year, and I think Lamar Jackson running the ball is a big part of why that. Now, granted, they got some reinforcements in J.K. Dobbins, but I would just be concerned because when you do the math on this one, you're like, ooh, that's actually not a ton of yards every game. Like he could blow this up with 200-yard rushing game. So I hear you. It's probably smart. Right. It's probably a smart play, but I worry that like Harbaugh's a smart guy. I feel like nothing. They're not going to be.
So he's not going to do the same.
But it's not that dumb football coach thing where he's like, oh God damn it, the media is saying I'm running my quarterback too much. I got to stop running my quarterback.
No, but I think the dumb football coach move is we ran Lamar Jackson 1 million times last year. Yeah. Let's run him 1 million times next year. They're going to figure out how to get some of those plays without risking your quarterback being injured. That's my point.
No, I like the construct of what you're doing. I just think there's a lot of risk in that under for me. Little too much risk there to throw it in the old portfolio. Sean, my next one.
You're crazy, Kramer. Before we get to yours, Kramer.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on.
Perfect time. You want to book some of these crazy bets that Kramer's throwing out? You want to become a bookie? It's pretty easy. All you got to do is go to aceperhead.com/SGP, aceperhead.com/SGP. And in just minutes, you can be setting up shop, becoming your own online sports bookie. You don't even really have to know what you're doing, to be honest. Ace is that easy to work with. They set you up with a professional betting website, mobile wagering, in-game betting. They got it all. And if you use our link, you can get up to 6 weeks free. aceperhead.com/SGP, aceperhead.com/SGP.
All right, Sean, next up, I'm going to go to another futures market of sorts. I think you have one for this as well. The comeback player of the year.
Yep.
All right. So at this point I have spent a decent amount of money. I'm throwing my money little bit more risk it over here, trying to get that biscuit. I think this guy is being relatively disrespected here, being priced lower than a guy like How is JJ Watt eligible for comeback player of the year?
He was out a decent portion.
Guy, you can't win that a couple times, right? Cam Newton is obviously intriguing. I think, I highlighted reasons why you might want to play him. Roethlisberger, who's the co-favorite with Newton at 3-1, is also very obviously interesting because he could plug right back in. A little worried about his age, but Matt Stafford, dude's got weapons around him. There's a narrative there. I think the same narrative I used last year to them being a frisky team. Obviously, it all blew up when the quarterback got hurt, but they seem to have the running back depth now. They have some receivers. They have some reasons why. Obviously, the coach is a doofus, and that worries me. But he's a name brand. He's a former number 1 pick, and he's done it before. And he's kind of one of those gamers. He's one of those guys that could like gain momentum by going on a late run.
Well, and I think there is,
and they have the opportunity to make the playoffs. And he's starting from like it's his like. There's not really much question around him.
Yeah, and I think people feel bad for Stafford, especially in the media.
Yeah,
because he's had it seems he's had a lot of potential, hasn't been able to cash in, kind of stuck in Detroit. So I think he's
a poor man's Marino, like an exceptionally poor man's Dan Marino.
Well, there's a narrative there, and for like these season-long awards, you need a narrative. I'm gonna stay in.
Well, anyway, I didn't want to put a ton of money on this, but I did want to put some money on this. So $50K. On Matt Stafford, to win the comeback player of the year.
There are some interesting ones here. Alex Smith for comeback player of the year plus 1,600. The dude's not even walking.
He's
How
not
is he
coming
even
back, bro.
How is he on the list?
He's not coming back.
He's lucky to have his leg. That's insane that he's on here. Deshaun Jackson at 50 to 1. Now, unclear if this 50 to 1 is him coming back from his core muscle injury that cost him for the season, or him coming back from Auschwitz, which he is going to learn about how Hitler is bad. Unclear. Kramer, I went to the same division.
I don't want to be Crash, but is that not like the most ridiculous box checking you've ever seen in terms of like an apology tour?
Well, I guess what I would say is the guy's at least getting on a plane, going to Europe, and putting some legwork into.
Oh no! I'm not trying to make a comment against Deshaun Jackson more than I am around the construct of what people are instructing him to do. This is how you make amends. Like the world has gone fucking batshit crazy.
Yeah, it's such a tough scenario.
Really, you gotta get on a plane to know Hitler was bad. You like what the fuck is going on here?
I'm going on a field trip.
What are they teaching up there in Cal Berkeley?
Apparently not World War II history.
I apologize, Sean.
Kramer, this guy is in the same division. He also plays quarterback. I'm also throwing a $50,000 bet on him.
Oh no!
But this guy, much longer odds.
Long Cox.
Oh,
Big Dick Nick, 25 to 1. This Bears team has talent around him.
Yeah,
you're telling me he comes in. Goes maybe like let's say Mitch starts out 0-2, 0-3.
Mitchell. I'm sorry. I was confused at who you were talking about.
Let's say he starts 0-3, and then couldn't you imagine a scenario where Foles comes in, goes maybe 9-4, gets him to that last seed of the playoff, maybe wins a game at 25 to 1. It's clearly they're favoring the quarterback, but at 25 to 1. He has a clear path to being a starter.
Everyone likes him.
I think the Bears probably a decent team with the exception of the quarterback. So I think he's got a lot of momentum, and he's a guy that, yeah, again, the storyline's fun. Like people would like to see him, like his whole story of coming out of nowhere, winning the Super Bowl MVP. I think people still resonate with that story. And you could win 1.25 million. All you got to do is throw $50,000 at 25 to 1 over at mybookie.ag, promo code SGP.
Yeah, anyway, the next one to me, again, you're the smart guy sitting here taking unders. You're fading full seasons to happen. I thought you said you were rooting for football, Sean. Russell Wilson, 4,500 passing yards. You're telling me that Russell Wilson's not throwing for 4,000 yards? We see this every year. Oh, they're going to get the running game going. Chris Carson, Rashad Penn. The offensive line just doesn't hold up. It doesn't work. They need Russ to do his thing. And this is another one of those things where just like Russ doesn't miss games, right? He wears that freaking lead flak jacket. He doesn't miss games. Sean, just off the top of your head, what do you have to average to get to 4,000? 4,000 used to be a big deal, right? That was now not a big deal at all. What do you have to get to 4,000 yards?
250?
250 a game.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the way I want to get involved. And the touchdown 30.5. That's a lot of touchdowns.
Well,
how does he not get to 250 a game? I just don't see it. The defense, again, we're not sure if it's going to be there all the way. We saw spots of it. We think it might have some action, but I think there's going to be opportunity for Russ to have to pass the ball. So over 4,500 yards, Sean. Again, I'm running short here. If I'm doing the math right, I only have 215,000, but I do have 4 bets. So for this guy, the juice -125. So we're gonna do 62,500 to win 50,000 on Russell Wilson over.
Kramer, you attacked the passing yards there with Russell Wilson. I actually went to the touchdowns. I like the over 30.5. You're saying it's a lot of touchdowns, but he's hit it 3 out of the last 4 years.
Yeah. Well, he's hit the passing yards.
Three in a row. 34, 35, and 31. So 2017, 18, 19, he's hit every one of those over 30.5. And again, you're right. They convince themselves they're a running team. They put themselves in bad spots, and then Russell Wilson bows them out. And again, he is a guy, if you're looking to bet overs, I think Russell Wilson is the guy you make the exceptions for. You nailed it. He hasn't missed a start. 128 games, 128 games started. He's going to get you, if you average it, 2 touchdowns a game passing.
Yeah.
I just don't see how this doesn't hit Passing yardage. Yeah, I also like that as well, but over 30.5, that to me was a little easier way to get there. So give me Danger Russ over 30.5 passing touchdowns. I went a little smaller here. I only did 75,000. I want to save some money for some big money bets I got going later.
Wow. I can't wait to see what you got coming. Sean.
Oh my God.
Drew Brees.
Don't send in a clip of that.
Drew Brees. Why are we putting this man up on a pedestal? 30.5 touchdowns?
Whew.
No.
Well, especially if they bring in Taysom Hill on the goal line.
Absolutely not. Who is taking the over there, Sean?
I'm not.
Who is taking this over? I'm not sure who's taking the over. Again, we're getting down to the end of my bets, and for this guy, another one I still had over $150,000. So I wanted to make sure I'm going to win 50 on this. So I went 57.5 to win 50,000. It was -115 over at my bookie. 57,500 on Drew Brees to go under 30.5 touchdowns. I just think we saw him start to fall off the cliff last year. I think he's done. I just think the classic Saints, Sean Payton, horseshoe up their ass. Like Jameis Winston walks in the door on a $4 million contract, and I think he's going to be their quarterback. I think he's going to have a hot take. Jameis Winston starts more games than Drew Brees next year.
Oh my God!
Because he's done. They take him out into the field and they put him down. Let's go.
Okay, this one I threw in here. I'm only putting 50K on it. I'm going to save a little bit of my cash for these last two, but my third one out of the remaining 10 that we're doing here, Sam Darnold passing touchdowns over 23.5.
Oh,
I think it's just, to me, it's just a really, really low total. I mean, granted,
Sean, you
are
told
betting,
me guys named Sam. Stay away.
Granted, you are betting on Adam Gase to figure out how to help set up his team to get 24 passing touchdowns, but he is #team smelling salts, #decaf nose beer. Sam Darnold. They brought in Perriman. I think, and also like Darnold didn't look that bad. I know I always bust the chops of Colby because he's so out on Darnold, but Darnold was 7-6 as a starter. If you would have averaged out those 13 games, he would have had like 23.4. So he's right there. And I wouldn't be surprised if he makes a small step forward in the in that AFC East, which is a little bit up for grabs. Again, to me, it was just 23.5 is just too low for a passing touchdown total. So that's, I'm throwing 50K on that.
All right, last one where I'm putting a decent amount of coin on it. Kyler Murray. Sean, I don't remember. You didn't throw out an earlier Kyler prop, did you?
No, I'm Kyler
under 39.50.5 passing yards.
Ooh, really?
Similar math to Russell Wilson. Yeah, I just, the more I look in, so here's my take on the Cardinals.
Kyler getting a lot of hype.
Cardinals
in the fantasy
going to be very exciting. Cardinals going to be very exciting. I don't see Kyler getting through this year. I think Kyler's going to get a little banged up, and I think I know the offense they run, but don't be surprised. 250 a game. He's not getting there. He's not getting 250 a game, and I can get plus 110 on this one. So I'm fading. This is a little bit of a. I do think there's a risk here, because once again, you want to fade. You want to fade certain things when it comes to the NFL season when you're this far out, and one of those is hype. And right now, the Cardinals hype train is silly, right? Because how could they be stopped? They got DeAndre Hopkins. Anyway, so under 39.50.5 yards for Kyler Murray, and we did 50 to win 55,000 because it's plus 110.
Kramer, this is a guy I normally don't like to fade, but the number feels a bit inflated. I'm going to throw $50,000 on Patrick Mahomes under 46.99.5.
Oh, you're getting
passing
cute now.
Yards.
You're getting cute now, right?
He only had 4,000 last year.
He was hurt,
but he still had. He still played in 14 games, Ryan. So even if you add those 2 games, is he getting? Is he getting up to 4,700? Maybe.
Funny,
I just think this is 4,700 is a little crazy for me. On any player total. I mean, his season in 2018, where he was the MVP, ball out season, he got to 5,000 yards. Yeah, and this was like a historic, crazy thing. So to get back there again,
yeah, no, I like it. I like it.
And you know, I would wait on that too. Let the Chiefs fans pump that number up, and could be a little bit of the Super Bowl hangover. Get off to a little bit of a slow start. I
guarantee you there's a lot of pumping going on in Kansas City right now, Sean.
Oh yeah, dude. The guy he gets assigned to a $450 million contract. You don't think he's going to do a little pumping? He might be a little distracted. Under 40s, he could have a great season and throw for 4,500 yards.
You said it, Sean. All right, I can't get it. Let's go over to the MVP market.
Ooh,
for my last one. It's the quarterback or bust philosophy when it comes to the MVP. Hard to take anyone else. Did you see Christian McCaffrey is a 99 in Madden? Saquon Barkley is an 89. Are you kidding me? This game, it's unbelievable. Sean, I'm going to read them down. Mahomes 4-1, Jackson 725. Are you going after any of the favorites? Russell Wilson 850, Carson Wentz right there with Dak and Tom Brady at 14-1, Cam 16-1. Like to me, there's not really any value up there. You have guys. I think we both have a lot of reasons why you might like Josh Allen at 40-1. I've told you I like Drew Lock a whole lot. Matt Ryan, a lot of opportunity for him to do well. Well, I do like one of the guys in that list, and I'm doubling down on Russ Wilson at 850. This is his. I think he has a massive year. I think they win the division, and at plus 850.
Well, and he was in the mix for MVP talk last year. It kind of just fizzled late, and Lamar Jackson ended up having a historical year, especially for a receiver running back.
Yeah, who has the historic year this year? Who knows?
Right. So it could get knocked off by someone coming kind of out of nowhere and having a historic year. Maybe Kyler does really go off. Maybe one of these 4th, 5th year guys really have their career year. But as far as like 850 wheelhouse, kind of a safe bet, but decent return, you could do worse than betting on Russell Wilson.
And I think the funny angle here is maybe you don't put the 45,000 I told you to put on. Maybe you say, you know what, I'm not going to listen to you all the way, and you throw 5K on Jameis Winston.
What is Jameis Winston's odds?
55-1. Better than Daniel Jones. Not even starting quarterback right now. Better than Kirk Cousins.
Oh, poor Kirk. And they're in a good team.
Better than Jared Goff.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. So they know that people like betting on Jameis Winston, and they're doing everything they can to adjust the
Sean,
odds.
who's your last prop?
Kramer. I did a little math, and I actually reduced my Jared Goff bet from $100,000 to $50,000.
You ran out of cash,
so I could have even more money to load up on my big play of the year. Ben Roethlisberger under passing yards, 4,000 and a half. I think there's a certainly a version of this Steelers team that could be kind of frisky. You're talking yourself into Juju and fantasy. Yeah. I know the more I think about it, the more I kind of like him, but 4,000 yards is still insane for Ben Roethlisberger going into his 17th season. You saw him in the offseason. Did that look like a guy who was hitting the gym? No, the only thing he was hitting was beating his meat because he's addicted to online pornography and alcohol. Probably unrelated to his elbow injury. We don't know, but I mean, everything has to go right for this guy to get 4,000 yards. Right? It's insane. Like
dude busted his elbow getting fucking whiskey dick and not being able to crank it, just going too hard.
Now
serious ligament damage.
Maybe there's a scenario where he gets up to 5,000 like he did in 2018. But
you know what that is, Sean? That's a sign that his arm talent is wearing off.
Well, I think what you do is you take under on Roethlisberger passing yards, but then maybe even you hedge your bet. Yeah. Maybe get a little comeback player of the year, MVP, so that you can I don't know.
Oh, that was fun, Sean. Get paid. We're
talking about the NFL.
I'm expecting I'm gonna expect a 20 to 25% ROI.
That's what I'm looking for my clients.
Yeah.
And
nothing crazy. No. We're not going to triple your money like
some of the mega whale plays
like that
out
fucking
there.
Alfredo guy on AM 650.
Before we go, make sure you check out our partners over at cushydreams.com. Get you that fully legal smokable CBD.
Hell yeah.
Shipping legally to all 50 states. Use that promo code SGP over at cushydreams.com. Get you 15% off. And make sure you check out all our Madden sims we're doing. We are the Sim Gods, streaming Madden multiple nights a week. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/sims. Or if you want to check out the football tournament, and we're giving away over $10,000 in MyBookie credits, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/ATC, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/ATC. And throw us a 5-star rating review. Come on, guys,
Please.
get those reviews.
Yes,
they make me
please.
feel good. I need it.
Yes, please.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
And for the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
Good luck to your props, Sean.
Thank you, Kramer. Let it ride.